Alrighty, we are back. So we're gonna go for a bit of a fly around. So this is our new yard limit just after this crossover. The Horizon Coal train is there and it's got the road, so I'll let it go in shortly. So we go around the curve now. The stop boards are gone. We need to remove this stop board. So what I'm about to show you took me about 25 minutes. This is pretty simple, but I've already done this before, so it's just a case of replacing some things. Okay, so we go around the bend, couple of signals on approach. We probably don't need that signal, so we'll delete it. So we definitely need this next one near the gate, and if it's working correctly, it will tell you that you can go into the coal loader. Did I just make sure that I've got to go to the driver's mode to switch the points. Actually, I think I should probably reverse the direction of those points. What I'm doing, I'm also taking the opportunity now that I know what I'm doing, is to upgrade the points, same track, etc. But the new point motors, we'll go back into driver's mode. That's cool. Now let's see, did that change the points? Probably didn't because the AK cars are in there, which is fine. So what we'll do, we'll get this Horizon. Actually, we can probably move those points a little. Whoops. Got to be in surveyor's mode to do that. It's certainly a learning curve, that's for sure. So we'll move those points to there, or the signal rather to there. So now if I go into, we'll save it in surveyor's mode, and if we go into driver's mode, so the entrance is basically the same, new set of points there. So we go down here, new signals, splits into 1 and 2 road, all the way down. We've got new signals for the way out. The AK cars are there, they're waiting. And down here, instead of where the track before curved around to the left and there was a run around, it's basically 3 dead ends now because we're doing push-pull. So the area went to around here before the tracks went to around here. So there's nothing down here anyway. So the tracks formerly went across the road. The tracks no longer go across the road. They end here. Potentially there could be a room for another road if need be, but I don't think there's really the need for it. So nice long road for the two coal trains to go through here, and the and into the coal loader as well. So what we'll do, we'll go to our coal train around here. We'll get rid of. Probably don't actually need that signal, and we'll get rid of that as well. So that took me about 25, just over 25 minutes. So let's go into driver's mode. We'll save for the last time for the coal loader. Not the coal loader, the power station. Go into driver's mode. D for drive. Alright, we are ready to drive into so we'll check the signalling on the way in. So here comes the train. So far so good. So we got rid of the catch points and associated equipment because there was no need for it because it's signalled all the way in now. So the idea, apart from the yards that we'll have coming up, the idea is to give an opportunity for the coal trains to be stored down here. So a slow entry, as you'd expect. That's what I should do. I should probably put, while we're here, what is that? Oh, it's a trackside camera. I haven't even looked into how to change the trackside cameras. That's another task for another time. What was I going to do? I was going to... what I should do... No, I don't want to do anything like that. All I want to do is just... You've got to be so careful about what you've actually... selected before. Alright, I intend later on to do a speed review of everything anyway. Why can't I? I'm in. Oh, there we go. Because I want to change these speed signs up here. So details. 20. And no, that one. That one, no. 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 No, I don't want to. It should not be this hard. No, I don't want to change the track. Or the coal wagons. So what I want to do, even if I can, no, I don't want to do that either. No, don't want to build up the track. What we can do, I'll actually redo so the sign's selected. We'll put that on the other side. And we'll make that 80. And we'll see. There is another. So We do have an 80 now on the other side for Trainz coming out. As I said, I'm going to do a speed zone review at another time. Save that. Boom. And then we're going to let the coal train continue to go in. Oh, I wasn't quick enough to see how the route was set. Oh, that's going into there. That's awesome. So it's going to be a slow speed approach. That's fine. We will speed up the process a little bit. So the ultimate test, which there should be no dramas with, we'll get this train and we'll watch it go down all the way down to the buffer stop. All right. Now, of course, some of this is down to me as well, my manual control, but we'll just drive it all the way down to the buffers. And we'll just double check to make sure we've got the maximum amount of room that we can. Alright, so it's close enough to the buffers. 60.02. We'll go back and we should see. Oh, not quite. That's interesting. So we're going to have to be right on the buffers, or we'll just extend the track. So we'll go into surveyor mode. We'll bring the track down further. We'll save that. I'll zoom up the other end to make sure that I haven't done anything disastrous at this end. We may need to adjust the location of the signals. I might just put a bit of extra track in. Bye-bye tree. Bye-bye buffer stop. Not out the gate. That goes there. We'll put our buffer stop in, because what I have been doing through all of the trial and error, I have been learning things, believe it or not. So now we can go, and sometimes these are the little tweaks and adjustments that you need to make. Alright, that's there like that. So the loco is now in behind the signal. If I wanted to spend more time, I could bring more track up this way. But we're not going to do that right now. So what I'm going to do, we are in surveyor mode. No, we're in driver's mode. Back to surveyor mode. Line it up. Bit more. There we go. Signals. Whoops. Alright, so the trains have the same amount of standing room. I'm not going to extend the coal loader track at the moment, as it's on a different alignment. Although having said that, I should probably just go quickly, and while we're here, we can move it across to there. Line buffer up. Put another one in. Buffer. Neat. Boom. Alright, so that basically gives us the same amount of room. Now, the AK cars, they can actually depart. So we're going to drive mode. Alright, we'll put smile E. And we're going to, oops. So we're going to send Smiley up to we're going to send him past Donnybrook. We'll send him to Haley River. So we'll move Smiley through Donnybrook, and I'll explain. That'll be the next section that I wanted, Backyard Blitz, and I'll explain what I have in mind that I learnt for a whole heap of trial and error. And one of the reasons that I'm doing this is because I need to have this track alignment back for future episodes. I could have just went, oh, you know what, who cares, but we need to get this back. All right, so these sets of points are going. The train order ones, they're stupid. They don't need to be there. We're now into Donnybrook Yard. There's a whole heap of things that I want to clean up about this area. The train order point indicators, not required. I'm going to rework the container terminal. So the container terminal coming up to now. So we're going to redesign that. Extend the container terminal. Or the container terminal track at least. So I found on both sides of the line that we'll see coming up, there's a whole heap of heritage items and buildings, and I'm actually going to relocate them and put them into a complex and put them all together. Like there's an old shed. There's an old shed that the train's passing at the moment. Around that can use some tidying up, but it's also a good shed for heritage locos, etc. Whoops. So like there's a coal stage, that sort of thing, that and around here needs some work. Needs a general tidy up. The yard needs a general tidy up. What I'm planning to do about the actual platform, which is coming up now, is I'm going to end the track there, so the track can be exclusively used for passenger trains, because there's no passenger service beyond Donnybrook. And there's a good old shed there that we can use. The level crossing is working because I went back in time. So the level crossing is working, but we're basically going to redo that whole section from basically here, well, basically from the river to the container terminal. So that's where we're going to concentrate our efforts. basically from here on. So let's get back into surveyor mode. Or actually, we should just let the train drive out of this area. Back into surveyor mode. We'll go into flight mode and have a look. Whoops. And show you some various things. So we've got the start of the yard here. Need to make sure that I don't touch the triggers for the level crossing, which is what I did before. We will update the points as we go through. So the track on the left will basically be to get into the Heritage Centre and the platform. The right hand side will be basically the main line. So if you want to consider that the line on the left will be the loop and the main line will be on the right hand side. This section hut can go on the other side with the heritage. It's not used as a operational thing, so we can move that. We're coming up to the level crossing, so we can tidy up around here. Work on some points. If we go to the left, we've got the like a rail car shed, inspection shed that can be there, coal stage there. A watering point for steam locos, which doesn't really need to be there, so we'll move that across. The yard, I'm going to clean up and rationalise. Now, down here is an engine turning Y, but what I thought, instead of doing that, we've got the land. We can turn this into a put a roundhouse in. So we've got a whole heap of area to play with. On the other side, into heritage loco shed. Whole heap that we can clean up there. That line there can basically join the container terminal road, and that can come up here. We've got room down the back to extend. We don't really need the line to come out there, and we've got room to extend. And we've got room for the line to extend a little bit out here. And then over here, is that like a oil? Looks like an oil refinery. We'll basically leave this alone for the moment, but how we get there will change. So we're basically going to start from here. This will be our start of our yard limit for Donnybrook. Let's go and set the timer. The last section, which took me a lot less time, because it's a lot smaller. We'll set the timer in a moment and get underway. Last bit for the power station took about 25 minutes. This will probably take about an hour realistically, and we'll come back. Hello, I'm Simulator Dick, and we are back. Spent about 3.5 hours off camera working on Donnybrook. I think I'm pretty happy with the results. For the moment, at least, I'm using a Hunter railcar from New South Wales, from the Hunter Valley area, that I happen to know rather well. This is an earlier model, I dare say, in terms of when it was put on trains. It is a two-car diesel moldable unit introduced in 2007. This is the original City Rail colour scheme. So let's get straight into it and check out what I've done to Donnybrook. Sounds exactly like an Endeavour, which in the real world it doesn't, but I think I know what's happening here. We are focused on the driver, who I think is at the other end. So what we'll do, we'll put them just so we can oh, this is from Trainz 12. So there, I dare say that there's been a lot of water under the bridge. Since then, there is a little bit of an interior there. What we'll do, sometimes it's hard for my cursor to find the train. Like I can find it there, and as soon as from 2012. Oh, I'm trying to focus on the wrong driver here. Alright, why don't we go into flying mode? I say go into flying mode, and we can give you a look at the new look Donnybrook. This section hasn't changed. I just wanted to show off the Hunter, and sometimes you got to pick your vehicles, and when it comes to something like a Hunter car compared to an Endeavour or an Explorer or an XPT, there's not necessarily a lot out there. So if there's one from 2012, or you take the one from 2012. So crossing the river, this is where our zone starts. Now, if you go straight, or if you go to the left, now I haven't done anything in terms of setting up the signals yet, and I am in manual mode. So we're going straight. So this will take us to Donnybrook platform, and also the heritage site. So we're about to cross the level crossing, which is working. So to the left is one part of the heritage area, and on the right, we'll have a look at the right in the moment, the roundhouse. So we're in at Donnybrook. So let's see. Unload. Oh, hang on, where are you going? Right, let's load. Maybe the doors don't open. Let's go to... Let's navigate to Halley River. Platform 1. Okay, bye-bye, Hanukkah. So there's one thing I want to do that I just realised that I hadn't done, and I wanted to do. There's a couple of state transit buses which look very out of place. So, one's even got the door on the wrong side. First time I'd noticed that. So we'll get rid of that one. And we'll get rid of that one. Now I did download a couple of buses. I haven't looked at them to see how they look in the world. There's a few buses in here, more than I was expecting. Okay, that was the one that that looks more reasonable, and I think the Premier... where are we? Oh, that was the other one, New South Wales bus. So that's a coach. So we'll put that in immediately behind. So that already adds something, because you can expect there are some places, even though it says Hills Bus, are plenty of places where you will still see the canary yellow no, okay, yes I do. Hang on, how did that coach get over there? Back into surveyor mode for a moment. Get rid of that. You gotta be so careful when you're using the mouse. Alright, so here we go. Oh, what am I going to add to replace the Hanukkah that's just disappeared so I can show you the roundhouse? Let's just go straight to the roundhouse. And we'll put... Alright, that's that one. And that's that one. Now, I will go ahead and save that. Now, the Australian Bicentennial, such a long time ago. Now, 1988. All right, a few details. $48,165 was one of them. Okay, so we're on the Hunter car. There it is, still going through. That's cool. You head north. All right, so we're going to have. Oh, there's two Sean's driving the bicentennial units. All right, let's go up a bit. Let's go to the 81 class. Now, the Australian Bicentenary in 1988 was a lot of celebrations. Various operators in Australia painted some of their locos in different colour schemes to mark the 200 years of British settlement. Actually, we should centre it a bit more. It was certainly an interesting colour scheme. That didn't go for the traditional green and gold like some of the other states did. They went more of the, you couldn't even really say the state colours, really. Couldn't even really say they're the state colours of New South Wales. But so let's talk a little bit about the roundhouse that I installed. There's various types and sizes. So the whole idea of a roundhouse, especially in the steam days, I'm in driver mode. I want to be able to turn the turntable. So the whole idea is that, okay, 8172 in this case is leaving. Now this is the first time I've driven a train off the turntable at the roundhouse. Now the centre bit where the loco was is called a turntable. Oh, now the arrows come up now that the loco's off. So what we're driving onto now is called the turntable. And so what can happen, the loco can drive into a road. It gets off the turntable, and there we go. Now it's only letting me turn the turntable when the loco is off, which is frustrating. So what we can do, we can go and pick up the 48 class over there. Now each road would be numbered. So especially handy in the days of steam. So you could turn the locomotive. Alright, so we'll go and have a look at the 48. So you got to turn it around. So as luck would have it now, the way that I just did it, we can drive the 81 class out. Now I believe an important trick was to ensure that you balance the loco, especially if you've got a shorter loco like the 48 class that we just moved. It's got to be centrally distributed. The weight's got to be centrally distributed on the turntable. Now, lucky for us this time, we can just drive straight out. Alright, so we're going to focus on the 48 for the moment. Now, I've just got to check. So what I want to do, get the locos past the level crossing. Hang on, am I over the trigger? Oh, we must be off the... I would have thought it was past the trigger point to go back. What we might do... Fly mode. All right. All right, so we'll go back to driving. We'll go to the 81 that's now leading. Unpause. Oh yeah, that's an 81 class horn. So I've moved some of the heritage items around. The track's not perfect. Alright, we'll just pause it there. So what I've done, I'll move the camera around a bit so we can see what we're talking about here. Now, the loco's on what's now the main line. Because passenger services don't go any further than Donnybrook, I've actually made the platform road a terminating road, so a train can sit there as long as it needs to before it goes back without delaying any trains on the main line. So if we have a look, to the left hand side, there's a couple of different options here. If you go far left, you're going into another heritage area, but you can also go into the lengthened container terminal siding. That's very... don't want to move the... Okay, I want to move the tracks. Whoops. Whoa! And we've derailed. So what I want to do... So you may notice a new shed for an engine, a new engine shed. I've actually moved the old goods shed. So that's there. So the old goods shed's there and a platform over there. What I'm going to do now... we'll do another train. We'll do another... a 422. We'll just put that there for the moment. And what we'll do, we'll go into driver's mode again. Now I haven't set the signals up yet, but what you can do, you can go into surveyor mode and you can click on the signal and you can actually set it up so what it will do now is when I finish it, G for goods, F for freight, C for container park. So it's set for that route. So a lot of it is just being trial and error on my behalf. So now if I save that and go into driver's mode, So that is set. So if I set it for the right, that's odd. Inner details. Actually, I might change the signal type. And sometimes it's just making sure that you're using the right signal for the job. That one might be a better one. Alright. Edit details. Set target for Route 1, Container Park. Save it. Go back into driver's mode. No, still the wrong type of, still programmed incorrectly. Alright, we'll do that one. I'm not going to spend too much more time on this, but this is... that might be better. That might be better. Because we're going into effectively a dead end. So we go back into driver's mode. I don't think we changed the details to tell it the route that we need it to do. Oh, maybe what I might do Shorten the block. Yep, perfect. So we'll go up here. Because the system can only do what the programming says that it should be doing. Driver's mode. So that track is clear. And again, we put, there we go. All right, edit details. So we've shortened our block to 57 meters. Subsidiary to the I didn't want to do that. Okay, cancel that. So it's telling me it's set up for the main line. Frustrating. Wonder if that will make a difference. There's only one way to find out. Whoops. Yeah, definitely think I've got the wrong type of signal in. Or I haven't, there's something I haven't set. But let's ignore that for the moment. Hang on. When did we say the when did we say the train can do 65 through there? That must be the default speed for anything. So we need to put a speed sign in. So maybe they've made 65 the default. You can change the figures. So what we will do, again, we will save because we should always. Hang on, where did I put the speed sign? Why is it there? It's not where I put it. There we go. It's now at the correct side. We save again. So this map is really, for me, learning how all the underneath works. And the route that we're going to start on the next episode, the main south, northeast Victoria ARTC route, that's where I'm just going to drive and have some fun. Alright. Now that we have the speed sign in the correct place, now it's still thinking it's in a 65 area at the moment. And it still thinks it's in a 65 zone. So the container terminal has been, or the line for the container terminal has been lengthened. For some reason it still thinks that it's sweet to do 65. Of course, I'm going to do some reading and watching of videos, etc. And later on down the track, pun slightly intended, I can extend the room that the container terminal has should I need to. So in the background, I think that's a like a grain terminal or something. Should have a look on the map to see what it actually is. Doesn't actually have listed what that actually is. It looks like an oil refinery. But we can see the roundhouse there. See the line around to the power station and the container terminal. What we're going to do now, we're just going to get our trains home. We're going to get Jane on the SSR collie to navigate to Donnybrook Power Station. Smiley on the... I didn't want to do that. Sorry, Smiley. We've got a bit of a traffic jam here at Haley River. Alright, what we might do, we might leave... Alright, we'll navigate Smiley. And we'll get Smiley to go... Zort. Navigate to the container terminal. So Smiley's off. think that's the next station that I want to upgrade, but not now. So let's watch Smiley for a bit, and then we'll have a look at our other trains to conclude the episode. Alright, so Charlie's behind there. Charlie's just got out of the traffic jam. So we'll come back to Charlie when he's on the move. Let's have a look what Amy's doing. That Endeavour looks so much better than the Hunter car. It's probably a lot newer, to be fair. You know, there's been a lot of changes in technology since Trainz 12. So the Endeavour's introduced in the mid-1990s. Currently seeing service in the Hunter Valley, Southern Highlands on the south coast, and also now on the Blue Mountains and West. So the Hunter rail car is probably waiting for the collie to get out of the way. What we might do, we might change into manual mode. Hang on, was that me? The one that I meant to put in manual mode was the Hunter car. I've set the points for it for the siding. This will be the next location that I'll be working on. Hang on, we derailed. Oh, must be like catch points or something there. Yep, catch points. It got me again. Oh no, there's a signal there. Went for a signal. And catch points. Okay, that's not good. Don't want to end the episode like that. And I haven't re-signaled this area yet either. Let's see. Is Jane on the move now? There she is. So an interesting thing with this one, for the moment at least, is that I have what I've done, I've actually got skin. I hate these controls. So I've got SSR locos, but I don't have any. I don't have any SSR coal wagons at the moment. So what I was hoping to do, because these are one rail wagons, I was actually hoping to, if I make them dirty enough like their locos, or any coal trainer on the Hunter Valley, hoping to hide that fact, but alright, let's get going. Jane, to end the episode, we'll go line side. I've been Simulator Dirk. You've been wonderful. Let's watch some coal trains go through the countryside. We'll see you next time from down south. So on the next episode, I'm going to head south and have a look at the ARTC Main South Northeast Victoria map. There's a couple of different eras that we'll be having a look at, and I'm really looking forward to your company then. Thanks for watching. Keep watching for a while, because I'm going to just keep this train running through the scenery for a while. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.